Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Tech with Furu. In today's video, I'll be teaching you programming in C. This is actually the first video. We'll do subsequent videos, so it's an entire series on C. Did you know that operating systems like Unix were written in C? And that C was created by a computer scientist called Dennis Ritchie at Bell Labs? If you want to understand how computers really work, memory, operating systems, cybersecurity, then learning C is the foundation. You should know that this video is not only for computer experts. If you are new to programming, then this video is for you. If you're a student learning computer science or programming, then this video is for you. And if you're interested in tech and you want to understand how the computer memory and the operating systems and all other aspects about the computer work, then this video is for you. Alright, the first lesson we'll be looking at is an intro to C. C is a general purpose procedural programming language. It was developed in 1972. As you already know, it was developed by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Labs. It's general purpose because we use it for many things, and then it's procedural because we use functions and procedures to write the commands in C. You should know that C is powerful, C is fast, C is close to hardware, C is very memory efficient. As we begin to navigate this course, you understand what we mean by all of these terminologies. C is often called the mother of modern programming languages. The question you ask yourself is why? The reason why C is called the mother of modern programming languages is because programming languages such as C++, Java, C Sharp, or sometimes we call it C hash, and then you have Objective C, all these programming languages are built on C. Why should you be learning C in 2026? I get this question most of the time from students. They'll ask that, but we have modern programming languages. Why should we learn C in 2026? You should know that builds a strong C builds strong programming fundamentals. For those who want to engage in computer programming, C will help you build a strong foundation. Secondly, C teaches memory management, which is very vital. Since we have limited storage, we have limited memory, C will teach us how to better manage our memory, maybe through its use of pointers and data structures. The next, C is used in embedded systems. Embedded systems are small computers that perform particular tasks, and they are usually integrated within larger systems. So we usually use C in embedded systems to program embedded systems. The next, C is important for cybersecurity, and C is used to develop operating systems. In our introduction, you saw that the Unix operating system was built using C. So why learn C in 2026? We're still on that point. If you want to understand buffer overflows, memory vulnerabilities, and system programming, then you must understand C. Where is C used? What are some of the things that we can achieve with C? For instance, we can use C to build operating systems, e.g. the Unix operating system and larger parts of the Windows operating system were built using C. We can equally use C to build compilers, e.g. the GCC compiler, which is one of the most popular compiler used even for the C programming language. Also, we use C to program IoT devices. IoT stands for Internet of Things, and these are devices that can connect and communicate through the internet. So we can use C to program these devices, e.g. smartwatches, and the reason why we use C is because C will enable efficient memory management for these devices. Also, we can use C to program microcontrollers such as the Arduino Uno because C can directly access memory registers. Databases such as MySQL are developed using C for fast processing and memory control. So when you learn C, you're not just learning another programming language. No, you're learning the language that powers operating systems. You're learning the language that is used to program compilers, embedded systems, and even high performance software such as MySQL. Lesson 2. Let's get to installing a C compiler. Before we get to that process, what is a compiler? You should understand that the language a computer understands is the binary language. So if we write instructions in a human readable code, example in C, the computer does not understand. So what a compiler does is that it takes our human readable code, which is considered to be high level language, and converts it into a language the computer can understand, which is usually referred to as machine code. The most popular compiler that you can have for C is the GCC compiler. Installation options on Windows, you can either install the MinGW or an IDE such as CodeBlocks, which already comes with the GCC compiler included, or even Dev C++. In this video, we'll be working with Dev C++ because it's pretty easy to install. All you need is to download the setup from the internet and install it, and you're good to go. Alright, so let's get to download Dev C++ from the internet. Alright, so to download your IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. It's a software that comes with a lot of tools for programming. It comes with the compiler, it comes with the text editor, it comes with even the debugger. Um, the IDE I told you we're going to be using for this video is Dev C++. So how do you get it? You open your web browser. For me, I'm using Google Chrome. So you just come here and you type dev C++ and then you hit enter. Dev C, the, once you have received the results, you can just click on this official website, and here you have the different versions that you can download. They say you can download the Dev C beta with MGWGC. You can take this option. What do we have? We're getting ads. Please, let's close this and we take that. Okay, now they're telling us that your download will start shortly. You can see. Okay, the download is complete, as you can see. Now all you need to do is to just double click on this downloaded file and you install it right away. So let's get to that. I already have this application downloaded and installed on my computer, so I'll just go straight away to open it. Alright, we can close the browser. Alright, so I've already downloaded our IDE. As you can see, this is it here. So you just double click on that to open. Once DevC opens, this is the window you will get. Up here you have the file tab. Up here you have edit. Here you have search. You have view. You have project. You have execute. You have tools. You have style, window, help, and a bunch of options. So what you want to do is to create a file. So to create a file, you come to file, you take new, and you go to source file. If you are actually creating a project, and a project will have so many files, so it's better to take a project, but for this tutorial we'll just use file. Now once you take a file, this is the text editor opens, and then you have this window. This is where you actually write your code. You can customize it, you can change the colors to suit you. Please, for the sake, I do not want this video to be too long, so I will not be exploring all of this. But once you have downloaded and installed the application, you can, in your free time, you explore everything that you have up here. So the next thing I want to show you is the basic structure of a C program. So here, let's get to it. You have hash include stdio.h, come down int main, open our braces, type printf, welcome. Take with full colon, return 0. Okay, so a basic C program will look like this. What this program does is that it actually prints a text onto the screen. Let's explore various parts of this code first before we see what it produces. If you noticed, the first line you'll find is the hash include stdio.h. This line is very important for all C programs, and what this does is that it includes C makes use of what we call libraries, and these libraries already contain codes or functions that are executed once you include them in your program. So I've used the hash include stdio. I've used this. So if you look at this program, the first line you'll see is a hash include stdio.h. This is actually a header file that we usually include in our C program. C makes use of libraries that already contain codes with predefined functions that you can just include in your own programs. This header file that you see here, the std stands for standard, the io stands for input output header, and this particular library file is used each time you want to carry out an input or an output operation in your C program. There are various header files, and you use them depending on the problem you're trying to solve. On line 2, you have the int main. This is the point where the execution of the program actually starts. Everything inside the int main is what is being executed. If you noticed, just below the int main I have braces. The reason is simple. The int main is like a container that carries your code, and everything inside is being executed. If you look on line 4, you will see printf, take with full. What this line actually does is that it prints output onto the screen. So printf that you see here is a print function, and anything inside the quote, the quotation marks, will be printed onto the screen. Lastly, we have the return 0. It actually shows where the main function ends, and then since the main function is an integer, it returns an integer as well. Before we go ahead to compile this program, I would like for you to notice The first thing you will notice is that my program is written all in small case letters. Why? Because C is a case-sensitive programming language. Therefore, there is a difference between uppercase letters and lowercase letters. You would also notice that every statement written here inside the int main ends with a semicolon. This is part of the syntax for C. Do not bother. In our next video, we're going to explore basic concepts in C, and we'll explain some we'll explain all of this to you and you'll understand better. Alright, after writing your code, the next thing you want to do is to compile. Compiling is actually, like I previously explained, is converting this code that you have written into a form that the computer can understand. So to compile your code, first of all, you need to save the file. To save, you just come to File, you take Save As, since it's the first time, and then you navigate to your directory. Here I already have simple files here, so I'll just add this one to it. Let me just save it as, let's just say printing a text. So we save it as printing. We already have that, so let's just say print one. Okay, then you hit save. Once you save, the next thing is to compile. Up here, this is the compile button, or you simply press F9. This is the run button, or you simply press F10. Here you have the compile and run button, or you simply press F11. So let's compile. Let's wait for it. Okay, the compile, that was really fast. You see here, this is the result of compilation. We have 0 warnings and we have 0 errors. This means that our code is good and there are no syntax errors. So let's go ahead and run it and see. Okay, here comes the result. If you see, you'll find tech with full, and the process existed after 1.374 seconds with return value 0. Alright, so this is how you write your code and this is how you compile it. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you like, you share and you subscribe. In our next video, we're going to cover basic concepts in C, and then from there on we'll move to more advanced concepts. So please like, you share and you subscribe. Thank you.